On today's episode, I want to remind you, you know, there's a lot of different angles that we can choose to pretty much care for ourselves. And this four-part series is designed to break it down for you in between mind, body, soul, and spirit. And if you've already listened to the first two parts, the first one was a mindset reset, and the second one was your spiritual reset. It's like a guide. And this one is going to be your soul care reset. And if you've listened to the first episodes, you would hear and catch that this kind of was created from things that I would have told myself, 10 years ago, because I'm officially 10 years out of high school, and I really feel like I've learned a lot. There's even a lot of great things that I knew back then. I just maybe wasn't as vocal about it. And I have this podcast to be vocal. So I designed this four-part series. The goal was to give everyone a nice reset and for them to pick and choose different angles that they wanted to reset. Maybe, like I said, it was a mind that they felt like their mind was going a little crazy, or their body just has been feeling icky. And part four is body. So you can come back for the body reset. Like I said, part two was spirit. Maybe you've been feeling like you've lost a little direction. You need like a higher, almost like communication or calling to kind of guide you. That's what I'm talking about on a spiritual level. And now today in part three, we're going over soul care. And what does that look like? What does that feel like? Everyone is different. I'm just going to share with you what has worked for me. And honestly, the goal is to, if you can hear my text messages, I'm sorry guys, this is the real deal. I literally put my phone on do not disturb, but I don't know, I guess it's not connecting of do not disturb because it's disturbing. But like I've said too, we keep it real over here. My voice sounds kind of shitty, a little stuffy. I'm coming off of not being sick. And actually, I'm not even gonna lie, there's a part of me that had wanted to put this episode off because I was kind of like low energy. I'm really, I kind of sound stuffy. I feel like I'm behind on a lot of things. Maybe you're like me, you feel hella behind. Like you're just like, how is it November? How are we already like getting close to like Thanksgiving? And you just feel like you should be doing more and you're not. Well, this is why I decided to press record so that I can remind you that you're not behind. We are not behind. We're right on track. We're right where we need to be. Oh my gosh. My eyes could cry as I'm telling you this because I think we both needed to hear this. I even had this going on in my head today that I was feeling so like I just wasn't doing enough, like I'm not pouring out enough. Check yourself. We're checking ourselves. You are doing enough. If you have hit a point where you feel like, damn, I maybe should be putting a little bit more effort, okay, awareness is key. Shaming yourself is not. So you have awareness and then you create a plan that doesn't drain you, that actually supports you, and you put things into motion. So that's why I wanted to put all my fear and resistance aside and finish this series for you because I know one, I was super excited to make this series, so it's not like I didn't know what I was going to share. And two, I felt like that is a more even reason why I need to press record because there has to be other people that are on the same page that are feeling and that overwhelm and that stress and that like not enoughness. Well, we're not going to stay there. This is why you come to me so that I can help you reset. I can show you how we can move forward. Like I said, this is the brand and business that's going to show you how to self care your ass out of pretty much anything. I'm not going to say everything, but pretty much. Okay? Pretty much. So back to like, what does that even look like? Um, a lot of the times it's your core. It's what you believe in. It's what you do on a day-to-day basis. It's things that make you light you up but also bring you back when you got a lot of things going on. And a lot of times we pretty much can ignore these types of things because they're simpler things, like walking in nature, or doing a meditation, or practicing a prayer, communicating, that are those are simple things that can easily make you feel good, that we can that allow us to tap into that soul care and allow us to actually realize that we do need it. um and it's really funny because a lot of the times things actually have to get really uncomfortable and like hit the fan for us to realize, like, damn, I should have just listened to my gut or listened to what I actually wanted to do, and things wouldn't have turned out this way. That's okay. Awareness is key. Like I said, I'm going to give you a really good example of like 10 years ago or more when I was in high school. And it was like a soul care check because back then I was not practicing how I am today. I was not aware that if I want to do things that make me feel good to my core, to my soul, regardless if my friends or family want to do it, I still need to follow that. I really wasn't aware of that then. I was so, I don't know, I think I was still trying to figure out who I was. I still am. We still are, but I think now I've paid a lot more attention to my spirit guides because it's all connected, and I've paid attention to my gut, and my gut has guided me and shifted my soul so that I know that I'm on the right track. And I'm going to go right into my example. It's so crazy, but I remember who used to skip school. I'm not saying that you should, but I mean, I did it back in the day. It wasn't a great high school. For my first few years weren't so great, but I'm here today. I graduated. I actually graduated early, so there's a lot of wins there. But I remember one year specifically, I had a group of friends, and maybe they might be listening to this episode, who knows? Um, but we wanted to actually go get some Taco Bell. Shout out to fucking Taco Bell and all of their shit. Like, we know it's so bad for us, but then it's like, you get yourself a Crunchwrap Supreme or something, and it's fire. Anyways, we wanted to go to Taco Bell, which was technically off campus lunch. And so you really should have not been going because you needed to have lunch at school or have someone bring you lunch or you bring your own shit. There wasn't like you could leave and come back. Well, my group of friends, we decided to want to leave. And I remember um when we walked out of that door to leave, I stopped everybody and I was like, "Hold on. I don't think we should go." I literally like put my hands up and I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "Hold on, something doesn't feel right." And then they're like, "No, let's go." And I obviously was like, "Fuck it." Let's go. We're going to go to Taco Bell. Like, okay, what am I going to be, the only square and not go? Yeah, I should have been, but my soul care was off. And I was out of probably alignment, but I needed to go through that so that I could have awareness and so that I could learn from it, because we learn through everything that we go through. We learn through everything that we go through. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. That was good, right? Someone needed to hear that today. And no, I didn't make it up. um, but at that point, so we took off We came back, and when we came back, the security guard knew that we had taken off and was there, and we got in trouble. We got sent to the office, our parents got called, the whole shebang. You could guess what happened. But honestly, and I knew it, when we're sitting in that office, I was like, see, I told you guys. I told you guys, didn't I say? And right then and there, it was like, fucking AD. I'm getting aggressive. Sorry, guys. You should have listened to your gut. Your soul was trying to guide you to protect you, because it was trying to look out for your best interest. It was trying to have you create your own path, but you were choosing to go down the path of other people, which, I mean, everyone goes through things. We all have that. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not shaming myself for it. It's like I'm laughing because it was one of my biggest experiences that I learned. And I was probably like maybe 15 or 16. So, like I said, more than 10 years ago. And I clearly remember that I was like, dang, I got a good gut. So, how do you like make sure that your gut's solid? You practice the soul care. That's what it is. It's like aligning with what literally feels good. And it's kind of interesting because a lot of the times, like your external circumstances will try to show you that it's like, oh, that like red flag. Like that's not good, or like people will try to talk you out of things. You have to be very careful when you tell people things because um it could easily try to like shift your mind and talk you out of it. Like also remember when I went to beauty school. My dad actually, it's so weird that I'm telling you this, but my dad had actually told me that I shouldn't go to beauty school. He told me that I should get a real job. And um at the time I was like, "Well, I'm already enrolled. How are you going to tell me that?" Like, no, I need to make people feel good. I need to get people facials and I need to clear acne. I was like, "No, it's a thing, Dad. Like, you don't get it." And funny, those are things that like at the time, because I was 18 years old when I was telling people what I was going to go to school for, and it almost wanted to like knock me off of what I was trying to do. And honestly, I pushed through it. I did what I did. I've been in the industry for over 10 years and I love it. Um but it's when you actually create your own business, all of the shit that you like suppressed all comes up. And that actually has come up since I've started my own business because I've had to rely on myself 100% versus working for like being an employee. You get to walk away at the end of the day, and if things don't go right, you can easily point the finger at somebody else. Not when it's your own business, boo. Not when it's your own business. So I had to recheck myself and give my soul it its care and its awareness and its guidance and its love, that you know what, D, and whoever is listening to this, that you are breaking generational traumas, generational mindsets, generational sins. And sometimes you're going to come up against people who don't agree with what you're doing, and that's okay. You are not meant to make everybody happy. Your main goal is to make you happy. And, sometimes people aren't going to be there to support us, and that's okay. Like I said before, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you to make you be more resilient, to make you have more courage and more strength and more passion in what you are doing. Because I had to tell myself at the end of the day, regardless of what my dad was thinking, regardless of what my friends were doing, anyone else that was coming up against what I actually wanted to do, I had to remind myself, no, you do know what you're doing. You do want to wake up every day, and you want to wake up happy and loving what you do. You do want to make people feel good. You do want to have a job that you love every day. You do want to have lots of creative outlets for your job. You know, everyone's soul is going to have different things that light them up. And at a young age, I knew that like I love to get ready. I mean, you see me here today. I don't look so ready right now, but that's okay because I know how to get ready and my skin looks banging. Okay, that's where the esthetician tips come in. Okay, so bottom line, if you know how to pour into your soul and you know how to pretty much fuel yourself back up, it doesn't matter what people say, do, the circumstances, you will know how to realign yourself. So find your core things that make you happy. You know, for me, my health is a huge part of my wealth and my success and my happiness, because I know that I have to be the best version of me so that I can give the people around me the best. I give them the best version of them. They need to see that it is possible, and that you don't have to go around like thinking like I have to put a front on. Like when people ask you, how are you doing? And you're like, "Oh, I'm okay." And you really feel like fucking shit. And you're miserable and you got a lot of hatred and resentment inside of you. Like you don't want to have that kind of energy. So it comes off of like really finding out what feels good and running with it. Fuck everyone else. And like I said, it's going to be different. It could be walking, it could be reading, prayer, it could be um you know, watching a YouTube video that's making you feel good. And when people are trying to tell you something different, you find that video and put it back on. Even if you only listen to 10 minutes of it or 5 minutes of it, the point is to always follow your soul and your gut. It's never going to lead you the wrong way. You can always pray and they will guide you. Your universe and spiritual guides will guide you. It's normal, like I said, to come up against resistance and fear and people who aren't on your side, and that's okay because you're on your side. Your soul is on your side. And acts of self love is the easiest way to move forward, move through this, and also talking about it. Comment below what shit's been coming up for you. I know I've had a lot of shit come up for me recently, but I'm your pure evidence that it doesn't always have to be what you see. There is magic and miracles in what's unfolding. And we have to trust in that. We have to trust that our soul is guiding us. Seriously. And the more that we do things for us, we can tap into it like real quick. Because you're going to fall out of it. You're going to fall. That's why we start feeling shitty. And we wonder why we're feeling shitty. It's because we've fallen out of alignment of what we actually want. And we're doing way too much of all this other shit. Shit for our kids, shit for our husbands, shit for work, shit for blah, blah, blah. It's like no one gives a shit. Put a big X on that because Dee said so. She's saying you need to self-care your ass out of anything. And if they have a problem, tell them, well, go send her a DM and make it fun. Because I'm going to tell them, well, maybe you need to self-care too. We're creating a vibe. We're creating a lifestyle. Bottom line, follow what lights you the fuck up for your soul and put that shit on repeat. And don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. Don't come from a shameful place. You're not meant to be perfect. None of us are. We are all learning. We're all just having a human experience. That human experience comes with a shit ton of emotions. And a lot of us are all just trying to figure out how to manage it the best that we can. If you have loved this episode, please share it. I really want this episode and this series to, hit as many people as it can. And if you feel like you need more help in your day to day routines because you have a lot of resistance to prioritizing time for yourself, then I need you to do, two things. One, comment below, we're stopping this today. And two, send me a DM. And if you can't do both of them, do one or the other. The DM needs to be fall reset. Because what we're going to do is we're going to create a fully customized plan for you that's going to boost your energy. It's going to make you feel good. It's going to be simple. Ideally, we are pairing this with products in place that are going to help you live your most simple life. Like the life that when someone asks you, and not even simple, let's change that. Most like truly happy life. When someone asks you, hey, how are you doing? You're like, I'm actually doing good. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I've got my shit together. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm actually making progress towards my goals. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm actually prioritizing myself and I feel damn good about it. Period. Okay. That's all you gotta do. Send me a DM and we will get a really fully customizable routine for you. Like I said before, this is the brand and business that's going to help self-care your ass out of pretty much anything. And the holidays and fall and winter comes with a lot of shit, and we need all of the community and tribe and support and self-love we can get. This isn't our first time coming up on this season, you guys. What would that higher version of you do? The version of you that's breaking all those generational curses. The version of you that's not listening to all the noise, the fear, and insecurities. What would she do? She would show up. She would ask for help. She would make some damn decisions. She would put money down and not be scared about it. Because that's what I do. I'm just saying, I wouldn't ask you guys to do something if I didn't do it. I'm sending you guys so much love and light. It's crazy because by the end of this episode, I feel so much better. Oh my god, I could want to cry again. My eyes. Look at my freaking eyes. If you guys see me on YouTube, it's the podcast. This podcast lights me up like no other. This is soul care for me. As crazy as it sounds, this is soul care for me because this is reminding me that I have a choice. I get to choose what I want to do to help people. I get to choose the form that I get to communicate with people. I get to have that freedom, that flexibility. Oh my gosh, my eyes. This podcast just means so much to me because I know how much there's been times where I was going through things and I would go find a podcast and they would shift me out of it like that. It could be a podcast, it could be music, it could be a freaking video, a movie, like from the 1900s, a video. But bottom line, find something that lights you up. This, as much as I had resistance, this podcast means the world to me because I know the impact that it can have on people. All we have to do is spread the frickin' word, put that shit on repeat, and trust the process. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Sending you so much love and light, sister.